Welcome, everybody. My name is Rocio Gonzalez. I am the director of the Latin American Chamber of Commerce of Charlotte. Debbie, if you could advance the next slide, please. Thank you. I want to welcome each and every one of you for being here. This is our Meet the Candidates event. We want to apologize for the 5-minute delay that we had in starting this event. We know that right now we have about 39 people joining us. We have close to 60 that have showed us a wish to participate. So little by little, we'll begin to have more people coming in. Next slide, please. Before we go further, I would like to go over some event guidelines, mainly because we want to have the opportunity to provide some order into this. And what I mean by order is giving each and everyone the opportunity to hear from one another. So first of all, we want to remain muted at all times in the main room. Right now you are in the main room. Then we would like the candidates to please rename yourselves. Go to the upper right-hand corner of your camera and then click on the 3 dots and then rename yourselves. What we would like you to do is add a C dash right in front of your name so that it will be easier for us to identify you as the candidate, and then we can call you by name and give you the opportunity to speak to us. For the participants, we would like to ask you to rename yourselves with the district that where you participate. So for example, if your name is John Doe, then please rename yourself with the D4. If you're in District 4, or if you're in District 5 or 6, and however district you're in, then you can go ahead and rename yourselves. Then what we would like to let you know is this is sort of the agenda as well. The candidates will be given 2 minutes to introduce themselves. You'll be able to introduce yourselves in the main room. And what we would like you to say is something very short. Just let us know your full name, the office that you're running for, and also the maybe in just less than a minute, what your agenda would be while you serve while you serve. And also, we are going to have a breakout room. The breakout room is going to take 20 minutes. And in this 20 minutes, we are going to then give the opportunity to the candidates, the facilitators, moderators, and participants to now be able to speak. So this is the breakout room where you'll be able to open your microphones and have questions and answers and have a nice conversation among yourselves. The time limit that we would like to ask you to stay within would be 1 minute for the questions, and then no more than 2 minutes for the answers to provide the opportunity for everybody to have their voices in the room. The questions to the candidates must be made in the breakout rooms. And we ask of you that you make your questions verbally instead of a chat room. In that way, we won't have many different questions that will be unanswered. So take your time and take your turn so that you can have the opportunity to formulate your question to the candidate. We are going to have, like I said, a first breakout room is going to be 20 minutes long. It's going to be manually pre-assigned. That's one of the reasons why, while you were registering for the event, we asked of you what district you wanted to, in what district you wanted to be involved or participate. And then, depending on the time frame of our event, hopefully we will have another opportunity to have a second breakout room in which we are going to have 15 minutes to automatically let Zoom just kind of whisk us away and kind of randomly pick the names of the candidates and the participants so that we can also have another opportunity to have a conversation. So that's going to be the run of show. So now I also want to let you know that all of this is happening through the support behind the scenes of Debbie Ortega, who is our LACCC Events and Programs Manager, and also Fernando Majoral, who is in charge of our communications, and he's also a business owner of yourpartyonline.com, who will be ensuring that we are recording this program that is live on Facebook, and also that later on you'll be able to see this in our YouTube channel. Now, I would like to introduce to you Grace Nystrom. Grace Nystrom is our Latin American Chamber of Commerce of Charlotte Board of Directors Chair. And we're just delighted to have her here. She represents Bank of America and will provide us with the welcome remarks. So Grace, if you could please unmute yourself and provide us with the welcoming remarks. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rocio. Good evening, everyone. It's so good to see a lot of familiar faces. Appreciate all of you joining us for the, if you can believe this, the 7th annual Meet the Candidates event. Of course, this year's a little different, right? Historically, we're in a room with the candidates, everyone, shaking hands, taking photos, asking questions, meeting face to face. But appreciate Rocio and Debbie and the staff for making this happen via Zoom. On behalf of the Latin American Chamber of Commerce, the Board of Directors, welcome. As Rocio said, I'm Grace Nystrom. I'm the chair of this year's Latin American Chamber of Commerce, and I actually work for Bank of America. So, and thanks also to all of our candidates who are taking the time to be with us this evening. This is really an opportunity in educating the Hispanic Latino business community on the importance of civic engagement, and of course, proud to provide a platform for the candidates to reach out and connect, have a conversation with our community. Of course, we all have the right to go out and vote. I encourage everyone to do that, as well as encourage others. So with that, Rocio, I want to say thanks to you, thanks to the Latin American Chamber of Commerce, thanks to Debbie, Fernando, and others, as well as the Board of Directors for making this program happen. Enjoy your evening, getting to know the candidates, and remember to go out and vote by November the 3rd or November the 3rd. With that, Rocio, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Grace. I really appreciate it. Next. Well, this program would not be possible without the support of AT&T, who has been our partner for many, many, many years. We have been able to provide this opportunity to you, Grace Nystrom mentioned, for about 7 years. And we're just delighted to continuously provide this opportunity so that the candidates can speak with the community and the community to be able to voice their suggestions and concerns to the candidates. So I would like to introduce to you our very good friend, Kathleen Evans. She is the Regional Director of External Affairs for AT&T. Kathleen, I would love to provide you, we don't have a podium today, so please take the screen.
I am happy to take the screen, Rocio, and thank you for your kind introduction, and Grace, your welcoming remarks. It is wonderful to be with you again this year for the 2020 Meet the Candidates Forum. And granted, it's an unusual time, but this is a creative and effective way to bring people together to learn about the important issues and how we want to solve them collectively past the next election. But if you'll be so kind to allow me just a few remarks before we get into the heart of the program, just touching on Hispanic Heritage Month, which started September 15th and goes the next 3 days to October 15th, and reflecting on what our businesses and organizations are doing to promote cultural awareness and inclusion in the Latino community. Now, I personally am proud to work for a company that signed the Hispanic Promise, which is a first of its kind national pledge to hire, promote, retain, and celebrate Hispanics in the workplace. Now, my company, the Latino community, represents almost 16% of our workforce in the United States. and is continuing to grow along with its impact on our economy. As the largest racial ethnic minority population in the nation, Latinos contribute significantly to the country's economy. The GDP produced by the Latino community in the United States was 2.3 trillion in 2017, and there were 4.7 million Latino-owned businesses that combined contribute more than $700 billion to the economy each year. Now, these are striking statistics, yet we also must address the negative impact that COVID-19 has had on these communities. And that's why AT&T recently committed an additional $10 million this year to create economic opportunities and foster upward mobility for underserved communities that face social inequities and higher unemployment, all of which are exacerbated by this COVID-19 pandemic. Plus, now more than ever, internet access is important for staying in touch with family, friends, work, and school. That's why AT&T will continue to offer you an affordable way to stay connected. The Access from AT&T program provides internet service for as low as $10 a month. And furthermore, we have expanded our eligibility requirements. So in summary, for decades, AT&T has worked to better serve our Latino customers and communities, and that work continues today as we remain committed more than ever to being a leader in diversity and inclusion. So thank you, Rocio, for allowing me the opportunity to join you tonight. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kathleen. You have been a wonderful partner to us, and you know the needs of the community. You know how to support us. And when we came to you and you said this is a great educational opportunity, so you teamed up, and we're just very excited to have this opportunity. So thank you so much. Thank you. Debbie, next slide. Thank you. And now, why meet the candidates? I would like to say that part of what we do is to educate. And because we educate is that we want to have the whole community together. Just like Grace Nystrom mentioned, last year and for the past 7 years, we were happy to have everybody come together. As you can see some of the photos there, we would have people sitting in circles without tables so that everybody would be able to have a conversation. We would allow the candidates to move from circle to circle so that they could have a conversation with the community and also among themselves. As you can see on one of the photos there on the left-hand side, this was after several of the candidates had already left, but it was just beautiful how everybody came together, regardless of their party, regardless of their district, regardless of their agenda. Everybody was together with the purpose of helping the community. Also, like I said, we always use this platform to provide you information and educate our community. So next slide. Thank you. Well, as we know, we try to be very local in nature because if not, we would not be able to really kind of have everybody involved on the state level. But because we're local in nature, what we try to do is keep up every year with the current candidates. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous here today. This year we have the county commissioners running for office, and we wanted to let you know that Mecklenburg County is divided in 6 districts. These are the current county commissioners. We have 3 commissioners at large, and we have the districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And some of them have been able to join us. Some of them have said that they are very sorry, but they won't be able to. So we want to give the candidates the opportunity to speak. Whoever candidate has joined us will have the opportunity to introduce themselves, and then in the breakout room have a conversation with you. Next slide. What do the commissioners do? The responsibilities are to include, they include adopting the annual county budget, setting the county property tax rates, assessing and establishing priorities of the many, on the many community needs, especially those related to health, education, welfare, mental health, and the environment. The board also makes appointments to citizen advisory committees. So I urge you to ask all these questions of the county commissioners. Also ask these questions of the other candidates that are joining us today, so that you can best learn what their agendas are and what the agenda is, and how you can provide suggestions and opinions on how to help them when the time comes to make decisions and think of everybody. I also want to point out that there's a lot of citizen advisory committees, either for the county or the city, in which we would like to invite our Latino community to have their voice at the table. So please visit the website of the Mecklenburg County, as well as the city, and just plug in advisory committees. There's many, many opportunities in which you can just search for what is passionate to you and just register. And if you want to ask us to see if we can also provide you support so you can enter some of these advisory committees. Okay, next slide. Many of you might already know where you need to vote, where you should vote. So if you already know this, please share this information with your friends and with your friends and with your contacts. Make sure that everybody knows that they can visit mecnc.gov for the Board of Elections. This is for the Board of Elections. And also, these are some of the ways in which you can find your polling locations or your voter precincts, so that you're able to go. Also, check out all the different changes that we're having this year to comply with the CDC regulations and to ensure that everybody's safe. Next slide, please. Well, now comes the time in which we are going to allow the candidates to unmute themselves. I am going to call them by last name, and those that are present, once I call you, please unmute yourselves, and you have 2 minutes. So 2 minutes is 2 minutes. 2 minutes means that we would love to hear, and I am going to time you. You are going to hear a beep, 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 and I'm sorry, but we will have to mute you if you go any farther, mainly because we want to ensure that all of the candidates have the opportunity to introduce themselves. So what we would like to do is to provide you with the opportunity to tell us your first and last name, the district that you represent, the office you're running for, and also provide us within that time frame 2 minutes to address the audience. Okay, so I would like to begin by giving the opportunity. Let's see, let me, if you see me looking away, I'm not looking away from you. I'm looking at my other laptop so that I can manage the regular computer and also the timer and the list of participants. So first, I would like to find out if we have Lee Almond with us. If you do,
Rocio.
yes, there you go.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
Hi, yes, everybody. Thank you so much. My name is Lee Altman, and I'm running for County Commissioner at Large. And I think you guys did a wonderful job explaining what the County Commission does and how it's laid out. And that's very, very helpful to do that education on the front end. You asked what our agendas are, and I can tell you some of my priorities. Number one priority is reducing poverty in Mecklenburg County, raising household income. And for me, that is a real focus on workforce development. There are a lot of wonderful people doing work in that space, but I don't think that it's getting out to the community enough. And there are a lot of good jobs in Mecklenburg County and a lot of great pathways to get trained for them that we need to do a lot better job putting in the hands of underemployed adults and young adults who are looking for those sorts of opportunities. I'm also very focused on protecting women's access to reproductive health. And I look forward to collaborating with the sheriff on reducing gun violence. In your summary of County Commission, I just wanted to highlight a few things that are encompassed in what you discussed, and that is the Department of Public Health, which is of course managing our COVID response, is under the County Commission, and so that's very important. County gives over $500 million to CMS, so that's an important collaboration there. And greenways and parks, which are a priority for a lot of folks, are a county program. Last, I would just want to echo what you said about the importance of people on this call thinking about joining committees and putting your name in the hat for that. You know, the Hispanic community is like 13% of Mecklenburg County. I think it's something like 150,000 people, and that representation needs to be reflected in our county boards so that that perspective and that voice gets heard and raised up. So I really just wanted to echo that also. And last, I just want to say that I have a family member having a health issue, so I may not be able to stay around for the breakout room, but I really thank you for the opportunity to be on the call tonight.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. This is a great example on how 2 minutes can be utilized. And thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, the next person that I would like to call is John Autry. John, if you are with us, would you like please unmute yourself and introduce yourself? John Autry.
Rocio, I saw it's Grace. I saw a notification that he left the room, so I don't know if he rejoined us.
Okay, thank you, Grace. Okay, then we will hear from Mary Bilk. And I think Mary also just sent a chat that Mary Bilk, thank you, this is lovely forum, but I'm going to have to leave. So Mary is not with us for the rest of the program. Let's see, do we have Becky Carney? Is Becky Carney with us? Becky Carney. And if you could please mute yourselves if you're not speaking. Okay, Becky Carney. Becky Carney is not with us. George Denlia. George Denlia, are you with us? George? Okay. Let's see, George Dunlap. Do we have George Dunlap with us? Please unmute yourself and introduce yourself if you're available. I am going down the list of the candidates that registered for this event. Okay, I guess they haven't joined us yet. The next person would be Gabriel Espinosa. Gabriel
Espinosa. Yes. How's everybody? This is Gabriel.
Gabriel, yes, good. You have 2 minutes. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Gabe Esparza. I'm actually here on behalf of the Joe Biden campaign for president. I know we're talking about many local issues and local offices today, but it was important to the vice president's campaign that we be here today. So I wanted to simply thank the Latino Chamber. Thank you, Rocio, and acknowledge that there's some real suffering going on. The pandemic, economic challenges, social and racial injustice, a crisis made worse by our president, his incompetence, lack of empathy, and even mocking those he dislikes, including Latinos, who he's called rapists. In contrast, Vice President Joe Biden is experienced, he's a decent man, and has a plan to build back better. And so just quickly on a few of those things, let's start with healthcare because that's the most important right now. Joe Biden has a plan to get COVID under control. That includes nationwide testing, the availability of protective gear and equipment for hospitals, a science-based approach to approval and distribution of the vaccine, et cetera. And over the longer term, coverage includes expanding Affordable Care Act, creating a public option, and protecting people with pre-existing conditions. You'll know that the Trump campaign right now is in court to kill the Affordable Care Act. On the economy, we want to put forth a stimulus package to help recover from the impacts of COVID, PPP loans, save struggling industries, and create millions of good-paying jobs, including increasing the minimum wage to $15 nationwide. Most importantly, on education, universal preschool is important for all 3 and 4-year-olds, eliminating the funding gap between white and non-white districts, investing $70 billion in Hispanic serving institutions, and attending community college, the ability for our students to be able to attend community college without debt and to attend public colleges tuition free for those families under 125K. You all have the opportunity to get out and vote and participate in our democracy. So have that plan to vote. Y sí se puede. I look forward to answering all your questions. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. You had 2 seconds left, so thank you so much for that great timing. Let's see. Now the next person to be able to speak would be Rich George. Rich George, are you with us?
I am, Rocio. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Rich George, and I'm a candidate for the Mecklenburg Soil and Water Conservation District Supervisor in 2020. And my platform is outlined in what I call my EOS strategic plan, which defines, describes, and delivers equitable, optimal, and sustainable stewardship of our natural resources. The important thing about that is it's to benefit everyone, regardless of who you love, what you look like, or where you live in Mecklenburg County. And I have 3 basic principles that I'm running to support. First of all, I'm a passionate environmentalist running to combat our climate crisis globally and to preserve our county resources locally, especially our vital water supply from petrochemical pollutants like microplastics and single-use plastics. Second, I'm the product of small family farms, so I'm running to revitalize small-scale urban agriculture because it's imperative that we reconnect people with fresh, healthy food, especially in disadvantaged communities. We do that through micro farms, community gardens, and private backyards. And third and finally, I'm a Fortune 100 brand strategist running to change public organizations and private organizations that have resisted change for far too long. Why do we need to change them? Because we need to build a green infrastructure that improves our economic and physical health, especially in disadvantaged communities. For the Soil and Water Conservation District, we have less than 200 farmers left in Mecklenburg County. We're a county of 1.1 million people, so we need to broaden our mission to make sure that urban agriculture is defined as part of our mission. So that's the gist of my EO strategic plan. Thank you, Rocio.
Thank you
How
so
did I
much.
do?
You did very well. Thank you so
Excellent.
much, Rich. Okay. The next person will be Wesley Harris. Wesley Harris, are you with us? Wesley Harris. Okay. The next person is Brandon Lofton. Brandon, if you're with us, please unmute yourself so that you can introduce yourself.
Yes.
Brandon Lofton. Excellent. Welcome.
Oh, great. Well, thank you very much for having me. My name is Brandon Lofton. I represent you in the North Carolina House in District 104, which is South Charlotte. I am a former civil rights lawyer who became a public finance lawyer, which essentially means that I care deeply about fairness and I'm mindful of how our finances impact that fairness. My wife, Kelly, and I are the proud parents of 2 boys who are 12 and 14 years old, who are coming of age in the middle of a global pandemic. They ask us, how long will it be before they can hug their grandparents? They ask us how long will it be before things can go back to normal? And truthfully, Kelly and I find ourselves asking the same thing. But here's the thing. Things have not been normal in North Carolina for some years. We've underfunded our schools for a decade. We've refused to expand Medicaid. We've gerrymandered our districts. We created the least generous unemployment system in the entire country. These things are not just a matter of failed policies, they're a matter of failed leadership. I was there on the House floor on September 11th last year when the House pulled a surprise vote to override Governor Cooper's veto. And while it was a despicable political stunt, even more so, it effectively killed Medicaid expansion in this state months before the outbreak of a global pandemic. Luckily, the good news is we're only 22 days away from having a change in leadership, electing the right people to serve us in the state legislature, people who understand it's not about politics, it's about service. So thank you very much for all of your work that you guys are doing. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see. The next person that I would like to provide the opportunity to speak would be Nasif Majid, and please correct me if I say your name wrong. Nasif Majid. Nasif Majid, if you're with us, please unmute yourself so that you can introduce yourself. Okay, the next person will be Laura Mayer. Is Laura Mayer with us? Please.
Hi, I am.
Hello, Laura. Welcome. 2 minutes.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Laura Meyer. I'm running for Mecklenburg County Board of Commissioners, District 5. District 5 is South Charlotte, basically starting at East Boulevard and going all the way to 51. And then the other borders are Monroe Road and South Boulevard. It's kind of a circle in the county, in the middle of the county. I am a former teacher with Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, and I was a teacher of social studies high school, and a dropout prevention program is where I started. And I did other various roles in the school system. And then I also helped open and run a after school program for at-risk youth from Sedgefield Middle School. And I have lived here in Charlotte for 27 years, almost 28 years, and have been married for 25. I have 2 boys, 18 and 20. And I am running for the county commission because everything I've done in my roles, whether it's my career as a mother, I want to make a difference. And I feel like as county commissioner for Mecklenburg County, I can do that. I can make a difference. And my major issues are I'm running on education, being a former teacher. I want to see equitable schools throughout the county. I know that every vote that I cast on the commission will not only affect District 5, but it will affect the whole county. And so when I vote, I will keep in mind of everyone who I will be affecting. And another issue that is near and dear to me is parks and recreation and green spaces. I want to see the greenway connected and finished and accessible for everyone. Again, equity is a driving force for me with that as well. I think everyone in the county should have equal access to our beautiful greenways and our beautiful parks. And finally, last but not least, mental health.
Laura. Thank you,
Okay.
Laura. Thank you.
You.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I just want to remind everybody that we're giving you 2 minutes to speak, and also that those candidates that I have missed because they have joined us after their last name order, don't worry, I am going to do another run to ensure that all of the candidates that are here with us are able to introduce themselves. And please don't log out, because after that, we're going to have the breakout rooms where you will be able to have a regular conversation with the rest of the participants. So kind of stick around so that you can have a conversation with everybody else. The next person that I would like to invite will be Jim Puckett. Is Jim Puckett with us? If you are, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Jim Puckett? Okay. Do we have Richard Rivet? Richard Rivet.
Actually, I think Mr. Puckett is there. He's just unable to get off of mute.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Jim Puckett?
I'll stand by.
Unmute. Jim Puckett, can you unmute yourself? We can hear you. Okay, we will allow Mr. Richard Rivet to speak until Mr. Jim Puckett. We'll catch you around on the next round. So, Mr. Rivet, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name correctly. Please correct me.
That is correct. It's actually French derivation, so it's very good. Rivet. Same vowel pronunciation as Spanish.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead. You have 2 minutes.
My name is Richard Rivet, and I have been in business for about 40 years. I started out in New York in advertising at School of Visual Arts, and I ended up in Florida. Durante 17 años, I lived in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and even though my background is French and I speak French and French Creole, I had learned Spanish in order to, realizar negocios in Miami. And so I understand a little bit more about international business and North Carolina's future, and that's what I want to talk to. Not so much about the problems. We all know what problems we face. What I don't hear from any of the candidates typically is, how do we solve these issues? We need business growth. And part of that comes with marketing North Carolina internationally. I've worked with Europe, with the Far East, with Central and South America and the Caribbean. I have a cultural understanding and awareness of import and export and how all of this comes about as the world grows closer together. So by putting me into office as the NC House 107 candidate now in the House of Representatives here, I believe I can help propel the state forward and attract the business from overseas we need for growth. Then we take the revenue that's increased from that growth and we pay teachers more and we build affordable housing. I have an entire program I've conceived for doing such between venture capitalists, developers, and communities. I spent 5 years teaching in middle and high school. I also spent 5 years as a special investigator for a federal district court judge on capital murder cases. And believe me, that was very difficult. So I have an inside view of many of these main issue problems. 35 years I've worked with hospitals, doctors consortiums, nursing homes. And I see what has been done with healthcare and insurance and how we can improve it through some simple tweaks. We don't need major legislation. What we need is more competition. So if you're looking for a candidate that can actually affect change by growing our revenue.
Thank you so much. You have,
we can address our
2
social issues.
minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Wonderful. The next person that I would like to invite to speak would be Susan Rodriguez Mcdowell. Susan, if you're there, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself, and you have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Rocio. I appreciate being here with you all tonight. I want to let you know that my name is Susan Rodriguez McDowell, and I represent County Commission District 6, which is the southern part of the county, which it really goes from Mint Hill through Matthews, Ballantyne, and Lower Steel Creek. So it's all the way across the bottom of the county. I am your only Latino elected official in Mecklenburg County, and I am one of only 6 Latinos in the entire state that are elected. And so representation matters. And I hope we are going to have more representation after this election. We have some great candidates that are running for different seats. I'm very excited to watch their progress. And so I hope we have some more representation very soon. So some of the things that I am very passionate about is the work that this board has done already. Being part of this board has been such an honor. I feel like we have made a lot of progress in recognizing racial disparities. I think that being our #1 priority has been a huge, it's been a huge part of everything that we do. But we also, I wanted to let you know that we recognized Hispanic Heritage Month for the first time ever this year. We also have achieved Spanish translation of our public meetings. And now our county commission meetings are actually translated, not just, with the little words going across the bottom, it's actually spoken. So that's a huge change that just happened in the last couple of months. I was a big supporter of Sheriff McFadden and his 287G platform, supporting our immigrant community. I serve on President Biden's, Vice President Biden's National Latino Leadership Council, and also the North Carolina Latinos Combined Leadership Council.
Thank you, Susan. We appreciate your support. Thank you. Now, the next person that I would like to invite to introduce themselves is Deandra Salvador. Do we have Deandra Salvador?
Yes, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Deandrea Newman Salvador, and it's an honor to be here tonight. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm the Democratic candidate for North Carolina State Senate District 39. My district actually overlaps quite a bit with Susan's, so it's in the southern part of Mecklenburg County. It extends from about Tyvola Nations Fort Road through Still Creek, Pineville, all of Ballantyne, and a bit towards Matthews area. So just a little bit about me. I'm from Charlotte, and the reason I'm running is really my community connection. I've seen a lot of the growth that the city has experienced, but I also know that there are so much more we can be doing, folks who have been left out, and we need more state legislators that are really dedicated to and prioritizing so many things that our community needs, but especially now. We have seen the impacts of COVID-19 on our community, and our recovery from that is going to be absolutely one of the essential parts that I will be focusing on, not just in terms of one, improving our unemployment insurance program, both extending the length, but also the amount, but also looking at education. We've already been underfunding our public schools, and we need to get back into funding and prioritizing our teachers, our students, and our communities. But in addition, because of the many impacts we're seeing for COVID-19, the state has to provide additional support, whether that be for protective equipment for teachers and students, or high-speed internet, so we can make sure that all students and faculty and really all the folks in our community have the ability to stay connected and informed. In addition to that, I will wholeheartedly be fighting for affordable access to healthcare. Medicaid expansion is something that I believe we should have done a long time ago, but we must absolutely do now in the face of a pandemic. Expanding Medicaid would give hundreds of thousands of folks, over 500,000 folks, access to affordable healthcare. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you. The next person that I would like to introduce themselves would be Bobby Shields. Bobby, are you with us?
I'm here.
There you go, Bobby. Go ahead. 2 minutes, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bobby Shields. I'm running for North Carolina Senate in District 40. District 40 actually encompasses parts of 3 commissioner districts. There will be District 3, District 4, and District 6. And I feel that I'm uniquely qualified to represent those districts in all of Mecklenburg County because I served in Mecklenburg County government for 27 years. And during that time, I worked with all aspects of county government. And so I'm very familiar with that. I am the Republican candidate in District 40, but what I do is work towards a common vision. And I would like to work towards a common vision for North Carolina. I believe in good government. Good government means that we take the time to look at both the services and the taxes, because without taxes, we will not have services and vice versa. So it's a balance that we have to achieve there. And I believe I'm the person to help achieve that balance, working in a nonpartisan, bipartisan type situation. There are basically 3 issues that I want to focus on. One is economic development. The other one is our infrastructure. And the third one is education. I believe if we get those 3 right in North Carolina, we will do a lot to help not just District 40, but all of the citizens of North Carolina. And again, I'm uniquely qualified to work in all of those areas, having worked with them from both a policy perspective and also from an implementation perspective. So again, I am Bobby Shields, and I'm running for the North Carolina Senate to represent District 40, and I would appreciate your support.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. The next person that I would like to invite to introduce themselves would be Kale Thompson. Kale Thompson or Callie Thompson.
Hey there. Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Doing well. Please tell me your full name. I think I didn't.
Right.
say
Absolutely.
yes.
Hi there. I'm Kale Thompson, and I'm running in District 100. So I'm running for the North Carolina House. I grew up in Charlotte. I was born and raised here. I'm the mom of 3 young children. And professionally, I'm a childbirth educator. I work with couples and small groups privately to prepare them for the natural birth experience. Birth is an experience that unites all women who have small children. I want to improve maternity care in North Carolina. And I was also really enjoying listening to Mr. Bobby Shields. He's running for the Senate, and a lot of my District 100 territory overlaps with Bobby Shields' area. I appreciate what he said about taxes, infrastructure, and education, primarily education. As you all know, my opponent is Mr. John Autry. He filed legislation in 2019 that would repeal the ability of municipalities to establish charter schools. And I strongly disagree with that. So I'm definitely running on charter schools, opportunity scholarships. Education is my main focus. I had the chance to attend private school after 11 years of public school, and it benefited me greatly. I think that even low-income families absolutely deserve that opportunity. Education is the way forward. And also, you know, Tim Moore is going to be the Speaker of the House. Republicans are going to win the majority in the House again. If you elect a Republican from District 100, you will have a Republican out of Mecklenburg County, which we don't have right now in the House, and you'll have a seat at the leadership table. I think there's really something to be said for that. So I hope that you'll consider me. I am new to politics. This is my first run. And thank you so much for having me on tonight. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay. The next person that I would like to invite is David Tondrew. David Tondrew, are you with us? David Tondrew, are you with us? No. Then Ms. Joyce Waddell. Joyce Waddell, I know that you joined us. Joyce Waddell, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself.
Thank you, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
My name is Joyce Waddell. I'm your senator serving Senate District 40. Before joining the North Carolina General Assembly, I served on the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Board of Education for 6 years. Prior to that, I'm a retired educator, having spent over 30 years in education, in every phase of education, from early childhood to college professor. I joined the North Carolina General Assembly, serving Senate District 40. I've served 3 terms, and I'll be going into my 4th term. This term, we will have a lot that we have to do as a Senate. One of the major things that we need to do is work on health care and make certain that we pass legislation so that each person who's eligible for health care will have health care. The issues that I'm basically concerned about is teacher pay and student achievement. When we think about teacher pay, it does not make us proud when we say that North Carolina is number 38 from the bottom when it comes to paying teachers. We want to be at the national average of which we were at one time, so that we have teachers that will stay in North Carolina and not want to go to Tennessee, Georgia, and neighboring states. And we know that we can do it. I'm also concerned about the teachers who retired. And I file the bill every term that we can get an increase in that retirement benefit. 6% of the salary of teachers are taken out for retirees. And so when we don't get an increase in cost of living, it's unacceptable.
Ma'am, your time is up. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Then the next person that we would like to invite, I am going to go back up to the top of the list to give the opportunity to those candidates that joined us. I believe we have John Autry. John Autry, if you are with us, would you please unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am John Autry. I currently serve you in the North Carolina House of Representatives for District 100, which is East Charlotte, and a lot of the area that in before 2016 that I served here on the Charlotte City Council from District 5. And it is probably one of the more diverse districts in the area. And it has been my pleasure to serve you in the House now. And I am seeking my third term in the House. The main issues that I'm concerned about are education, public education. If we were to be funding public schools today at the same percentage level of the general fund that we were in 1971, when I graduated from high school, there would be another $3 billion for public schools in our coffers. I'm also concerned about the health care of our citizens. We should have expanded Medicaid in 2014 when the opportunity first presented itself. We're leaving 400 to 600,000 people without adequate health care in the middle of a health crisis. We also want to make sure that people are able to vote in North Carolina. We have had some very interesting lawsuits over the last few years about voting rights, voter ID, and the way that the current majority use surgical precision to deny a lot of people their opportunities for their vote to count through political gerrymandering. We also need to be addressing the issues of poverty in this state. Currently, right now, we seem to be punishing poor people more than trying to offer them a hand up. And
Thank you, John, Mr. Autry. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now I understand that we have George Dunlap with us. I believe, George Dunlap, if you're with us, please unmute yourself and you have 2 minutes.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. Let me just start by saying that I am elected by the people of District 3. I have previously served 13 years as a member of the school board, 12 years as a member of the county commission, and I currently have the privilege of serving as chair of the board. Like many who have spoken before me, my primary concerns are that of affordable housing. For those of you who have kept up with us, Mecklenburg County has done a lot, a tremendous amount to kind of stand in the gap for those who are in need of affordable housing. I can only imagine what our gap would be like if the county had not stepped in. In addition to that, education has always and still remains a concern of mine. For 13 years, I spent trying to prepare the students of Mecklenburg County to be the best that we have to offer in this country. And then economic development. I just wish people really understood the value of some of the things that we did to bring revenues into our community, because without economic development, we would not have the prosperous community that we have today. So those are my primary concerns. There are other issues such as health care and safe community, things that we've been working on for the last 2 years. And I couldn't be more proud to serve with those people that I currently serve. And I hope we'll all come back again to continue to work on behalf of the citizens of Mecklenburg County. Again, my name is George Dunlap. I'm elected by the people of District 3, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you. I understand that we have also Renee Little. Renee Little, if you would like to unmute yourself and introduce yourself, please.
Hi, Rocio, can you see me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My thanks to the Chamber and everyone who planned this event for this great event. My name is C. Renee Little, and I'm running for District Court. I will be on your ballot November 3rd, and I'm already on the ballot of those who have absentee votes. I will be running for District Court, that is Judicial District 26, seat 10. I do not have an opponent, but I still want to earn your vote. I want to earn your vote because I know that I'm committed, I'm respected, and I'm experienced. I'm a lawyer by trade, and for the last 5 years, I've been a judicial hearing officer. In that role, I presided over thousands of cases, including a jury trial, over adoptions, foreclosures, things that impact everyday people. I'm running because as the daughter of immigrants, I understand the importance of our courts being accessible to each and every person, regardless of your race, your religion, whom you love, where you live. I think it's important to make sure our courts operate with equity, efficiency, and excellence. And as someone who trains on racial equity, as someone who is a skilled lawyer, as someone who has been a part of the judicial branch, that's what I bring. My philosophy is people don't really care what you know until they know that you care. And I think that judges, although we cannot speak to issues, we can educate people, and we can certainly preside in a way that affirms the dignity of each and every citizen. So I want to ask you to still vote for me, C. Renee Little. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate your vote.
Thank you so much. I would like to remind all of the candidates that right after this, we are going to have, and we have 2 more people to speak. We want to provide the opportunity to Judge Rex Marvel to speak, and also Jim Puckett, who was having trouble unmuting the microphone. And then after that, we're going to the breakout sessions where you will have the opportunity to speak with the community. So please don't log off, stay with us. This ends at 7:30 and it's already 7:07, so we're moving along. I would like to invite Judge Rex Marvel. If you're available, please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm Rex Marvel. I'm a family court judge here in Mecklenburg County. I work and represent everyone in Mecklenburg, and everyone in Mecklenburg will be able to vote for me. I'm on seat 9, and I do have opposition. So growing up, my family was affected by the decisions of judges. My mother struggled with a drug addiction, which brought my family to court. So I know what it's like to have a judge determine where you're going to live and who you're going to live with. So working in the family court system, we've had a lot of struggle this year with COVID-19. And I've seen the impact on families. We've seen a rise in domestic violence. We've seen a rise in emergency custody petitions. But to adjust to the difficulty of this situation, I've pushed for bringing in new technology and safety to the courtroom. So that means I've been able to address the needs of families and children remotely, meaning they no longer have to come directly to the courthouse. We've been able to address the rise in domestic violence, the rise in emergency custody, to serve the needs of the community that needs us. Again, my name is Rex Marvel. I'm countywide, and I would certainly appreciate your support and your vote. And I look forward to any questions in the breakout session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Then the next person will be Jim Puckett. Jim Puckett, if you could please unmute yourself. Hopefully you have had the opportunity to learn how to unmute yourself so we can hear you. Okay.
I need to come closer to the screen. I see that he's unmuted.
Jim Puckett, we need to hear your voice. You need to speak a little louder, please. We're so sorry. Hopefully in the breakout room, you'll be able to unmute yourself because we want to hear from you. We are going to give the opportunity for 1 more person to introduce themselves. And then after that, we're going to go on the breakout rooms so that we can stay within our time frame. The next person will be Rich George. Rich George, if you could please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Oh, Rich George had already spoken.
I did. I appreciate a double dip.
No. I'm sorry. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. I was misreading something. I'm sorry. What I meant to read was Jeff Carpenter. Please, sorry, Jeff Carpenter, if you could please introduce yourself. And then after that, we're going to the breakout rooms.
Thank you so much. Thanks for letting me join you all tonight. My name's Jeff Carpenter. I'm a Superior Court judge in Union County. I'm running for the North Carolina Court of Appeals, which is statewide. So if you vote in North Carolina, you can vote for me, whether you're in Murphy or Manteo or in Charlotte. My background, a little bit about me is I grew up rural. My dad was a plumber and electrician. I'm a product of the public school system, went to UNC at Charlotte for undergrad. Then I left and went to Highway Patrol School. I was a state trooper for 6 years. After being on the Highway Patrol for 6 years, I went to Campbell University Law School when it was still in Bowie's Creek. Then I went back home to Anson County and opened a law practice and practiced law for 13 years. I was a courtroom attorney, a trial attorney. And then I became the Superior Court judge in Union County in 2016 by winning an election. And folks that I hold in real high regard called and asked me to consider running for the Court of Appeals. It's not something I set out to do, but they thought that I would be a good fit for it. And after much prayerful consideration and discussion with my wife, here we are running for the Court of Appeals. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your involvement and your service. Well, this is the end of our introduction of the candidates. Please don't log off. This is going to be what I consider the most fun part of the event, because this is where you, the candidates, have the opportunity to engage and communicate and have a one-on-one communication and conversation with the participants. Debbie, next slide. First, we would like to provide 1 more minute to go back, please. Thank you. 1 more minute to Kathleen Evans to tell us a little bit, just in 1 minute again, of the importance of communication and how AT&T is so involved in ensuring that we are all connected. And in the meantime, Fernando will work on getting us together so that we can go on the breakout rooms after I read the next slide. So go ahead, Kathleen.
Thank you, Rocio, and my best to all the candidates who have joined us this evening. We thank you for your time and bringing your message to the public, the Latino community in particular, so we can make that educated decision when we're at the polls or in person or via mail this year. Thank you. And as you said, Rocio, AT&T creates connections. That's what we are doing now with each other, with what people need to thrive in everyday lives, and with the stories and experiences that matter. We're creating new and exciting customer experiences that connect people with who and what they love. And just a few examples of that: our 5G network is live for consumers and businesses across the country, built on the nation's fastest and best wireless network. We're also building FirstNet, the only nationwide high-speed broadband communications platform dedicated to and purpose-built for America's first responders and the extended public safety agency. It is backed by Congress to give firefighters, law enforcement, paramedics, 911 telecommunicators, emergency managers, and more unthrottled access to the connectivity they need to coordinate and communicate their emergency response. Just today, AT&T announced that the company was tapped by the U.S. Army to deliver FirstNet services to 72 Army locations. Wow, big. Don't forget about Warner Media, our premium entertainment company, owns the largest TV and film studio in the world. And AT&T Latin America offers mobile services to people and businesses in Mexico, throughout South America and the Caribbean. So bottom line, our customers want high-speed connectivity, software-based entertainment, premium content, advertising that's tailored for them. And that's what we're delivering to you. Thank you, Rocio.
Thank you, Kathleen. And now I want to thank our friends from NAREP, which is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. They have LIGA, which is a new council that stands for Legislative Influencers of Government Affairs. We have teamed up so that they can provide their support as facilitators and moderators of the 6 breakout rooms that we're going to have. So we have given them the authority to guide the conversation. We want to ensure all of the candidates have the opportunity to speak a little bit about 4 major topics. We want you to cover the questions and answers with information on economic development, on education, on health, and also on affordable housing. So if you could please take the next 15 minutes to have to have the breakout room. And now Fernando behind the scenes is going to divide all of us. The Liga representatives will introduce themselves briefly and open the conversation. Remember to keep your questions to 1 minute, and candidates, please remember to keep your answers very short so that you have the most opportunity to speak with each and every one of the participants within the group, okay? So Fernando, just whisk us away and we'll come back and say our goodbye. So hang in there. Thank you.
Sorry, guys, I didn't get to finish that.
Hello, everyone. This is one of the joys of breakout rooms. We get a chance to chat, but sooner or later we get cut off. It's difficult to finish in mid-sentence. I hope each and every one of you enjoy the opportunity to have a conversation. This is where, when we were in person, we would tell everybody at 8 o'clock, okay, the event is over, and it would be 8:30, 9 o'clock, and we would still be there. We want to let you know that we are not a secret. We are very visible in all of our social media. We want you to stay involved and connected. We want you to follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You will see some of this footage in YouTube and also in LinkedIn and in Facebook. So please join us. Please let everybody know about the Latin American Chamber of Commerce, that we are open for all and that we are in the business of helping business. Next slide. We would like to also remind you that this week, I can believe it's this week already, early voting will start. I can wait. I can walk over to my precinct if I want to. And the deadline to request a ballot is going to be on October 27. And just remember that every election is determined by the people who show up. Next slide. We want to thank each and every one of our annual sponsors. Without them, we would not be able to continue with the services that we provide. They believe in our mission, which is to foster the economic growth of the Latin American business community in the Charlotte region. They help us in any different level where we're able to provide the seminars, and we're able to keep our lights on, and we're able to provide you with a lot of the educational programs just like this one. Next slide. And we want to thank each and every one of you. We can create wonderful events, but without your input, without your assistance, without your participation, none of these wonderful events would be successful. So we want to thank each and every one of you. I want to deeply thank the candidates for taking the time to come and have a conversation with us. Actually, this virtual platform has allowed us to, oh, I think I also need to be quiet. This platform allowed us to have people from out of town join us, so we're very excited about that. We want to thank all of the participants, the community that wanted to also have their input and their opinions heard by the candidates. Again, thanks to AT&T for their support and for making this happen. We want to wish you a very great evening. Stay connected, and if you want to continue to receive information from the Latin American Chamber of Commerce, go to our website to LACCCharlotte.com and request the newsletter. So thanks, everybody. We hope that you have a great evening. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks, Liga. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Thanks, everybody.